Okay, well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm China Bell, and this is my small presentation on how I run a successful, I'd like to say, beauty business. And we can go to the next slide. Okay, so a little bit about me. So you're just not just like, who's this woman? So my name's China Bell. I have a company called Framed Beauty where I do makeup. Um, I am originally from New York City, born and raised in Harlem. Um, and I moved to Rochester for college in about, it was, okay, so here's 2013. Um, and backtracking to when I lived in New York. So my mother-in-law, she put me in Barbizon modeling school. Not my mother-in-law, sorry. I always say that. My godmother, because I wasn't married at 15, she put me in Barbizon modeling school. And it was there that I was handed like my first set of makeup brushes, my first makeup kit, because they wanted the models to be prepared if they went to a shoot and the makeup artist didn't show up or was late or whatever. They wanted the models to know how to do their makeup, at least the basics. So once I was handed those tools, I was like, y'all can have the modeling part. I'm no longer interested. I want to do makeup. Like, I was just so excited and so intrigued by the art that I have been running with it since. Um, so I was the type of kid that I knew everyone in high school. I wasn't ever cliquey, so I sat at every table. I table hopped during lunch, and I knew everyone, and everyone knew me. So um, I got a lot of upperclassmen asking me to do their prom makeup, and of course, I was like, "Yeah, girl." I would come to school with a bunch of makeup on, wing liner, the lip gloss popping thing, and so people asked me to do their prom makeup, and I was like, "Yeah, I got you." And after like the fifth or sixth person, my family was like, "You should actually start charging people for this. Like, this could be a business for you, and you're actually good at it." Um, so since then, China Bell was born. China Bell, the makeup artist, was born. And I've been doing makeup ever since. And now I specialize in special events and wedding makeup. And I love to do weddings so much because I feel like people will like remember me forever because I get to be a part of such a special day for them. All right, moving on to the next slide. I'll take a sip of water, guys. I have a little bit of a cough. Okay, so that's me doing one of my brides last year. Gorgeous. Her wedding was just so beautiful, and I was so honored to be a part of it. But some steps to success that I learned along the way, figuring out what type of beauty services you want to offer. You don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master at none. Like, you don't want to offer like 12 different services. Like, you want to find what you're good at, narrow down what you're good at, what you're really good at. Um, and it has to be something you also enjoy. Um, and just focus on that and become the master at that. Like, if you do nails, for instance, and someone in your area is Googling nail tech, you want your picture to pop up. Like, that's how good you want to be at what you're doing. You want people to think of you first. So when people think wedding makeup in Rochester, like, I want them to think China Bell right away. Like, I don't want them to think about anybody else. And one way to do that is making sure you show up on social media, show up for yourself. Um, and just really focus on becoming the best you can in the specific service you provide. Um, Another step is continuing to do your research. The beauty industry is always changing. Always. There's always something new. The new Pat McGrath look that she did for the fashion show recently, where it was like a glossy face, and everyone went crazy because no one ever did that before. Like, just you want to be up to date with all these things, because if a customer comes in and is like, "Hey, China, I want to do that look," like, best believe I already know how to do it because I researched it. I found out what products was used. You just want to make sure you're always researching and always learning something new. Like, I never feel like, oh, I've been doing makeup for over 15 years. I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm doing, but like, there's always something to learn. I'm always like, I'm 32 now, so I'm like, okay, what are the young kids doing? I go over to TikTok. I'm like, okay, what are they doing? What's new? You know what I mean? Like, there's never a moment where I feel like I can't learn. I always want to learn something new. Um, Also, you want to make sure you have your contracts in order. I don't book any weddings without a contract that is signed and deposit that is paid. That's when your date is booked. It's very important because I need to make sure I'm protected. Um, DBA at least for your business. I have a DBA. Um, you want to make sure you find a tax rep to help you when it comes to organizing your income and money and all that stuff and doing your taxes. And you want to make sure you have a business account so you can keep your funds separate from your personal account. Let's see. Another step to success is collaborating with other individuals in the beauty community. Um, I did this a lot. Um, like if I would have a wedding and there's like, oh, I have a wedding, but I have 13 to 15 bridesmaids. China Belle's not going to be able to do all those people by herself. So I'll have another makeup artist come in, um, preferably someone I worked with already. So I know that they're professional to show up, they're dependable. Um, and so they work weddings with me, I work weddings with them. We are a good team. Also, like on social media, I'll reach out to other makeup artists or other people in my field and ask if they want to like collaborate. Like recently, I had a model and a hairstylist, and we just did a whole wedding hair and makeup look. And we're all like Rochester based and trying to grow portfolios and build content. So that's another way to collaborate with individuals in your community. Um, Content creator. Oh yeah. So all right. So if you're in the beauty industry and you're providing services, you're a content creator. Even if you didn't know it, you're a content creator because social media right now is everything. So you need to make sure that your stuff is consistent and up to date. And that means you're constantly creating content. So you're a content creator, even if you didn't know it, you are. And you want to make sure that stays up to date. And if you don't post, if you haven't posted in the past month, you want to post at least once a week, baby steps. Because I try to post every day, but once a week, baby steps. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Growing your clientele. Okay, so um, growing your clientele can be hard if you make it hard or if you're not putting in the time and effort it takes to build your clientele. You can't just post one person's hair that you did or nails that you did or lashes and just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this post and sit back and watch people come to me. Like, you got to get your butt out there. You got to network. You got to go to events. I like to go to events in my area that pertain to what I do. So if it involves some, like makeup, I like to go to those events, and network, talk to other people, make sure that I'm presenting myself the best way I can. So usually for me, that's dressing all black because that's the standard makeup look. I used to work for MAC, so it's like embedded in my head that we were all black. But you don't have to. But if you're a makeup artist, your face need to be done. If you're a hairstylist, your hair need to be done. Nails, lashes, whatever you do, that needs to be done. So because you're a walking advertisement for your business. I like to participate in beauty events outside my community. Like I like to go to BeautyCon, um, Bronner Brothers in Atlanta. I haven't been to any since COVID, sadly, but I plan to get back into that. But I used to travel all the time and go to these beauty events and meet other influencers, meet other hairstylists, people in the beauty community, and connect with them. Like people, you never know who knows who. So networking is never something that you're like, oh, I just do that. I'm just gonna do that once. Like that's something you continue to do if you want to continue to grow as a business and to grow your clientele. And when you're at these events, you need to make sure you have your business cards with you, like at all times. All times. Like people, so I don't know if people think business cards are dead, but they're not. Um, you need to have them on you all the time and just hand them to people. There's also like apps like virtual business cards and stuff like that. But for me, I like to actually have a business card on me because if I run into someone that wants to learn more about me or if I want to give them more information about me, I can just hand it to them. I don't got to be like, okay, so this is my Instagram or blah blah blah. Like I just hand it to them. Um, there's other ways of doing that with the virtual business cards. That works too. I just like handing someone something pretty and has all my information on it. I don't have it on my phone now, but I used to take like I'll take my case off and slide like two business cards in there. And it so I literally always have my phone on me. So I'm always gonna have a business card or two on me, like at all times. So you have no excuse. Have your business cards on you at all times if you want to grow your clientele. Um, Another thing I learned to grow my clientele was the word of mouth is key. So you need to show up for yourself, show up as your best self, be professional at all times, be on time, be organized, all that stuff. You want to present a professional environment and professional person to your clients if you want them to book you over and over and over again and to also refer you to other people. Um, Another way to build clientele, sometimes you're like, okay, I don't have any more people booked this week. Like, I already posted a bunch of content. Like, it's old now. Like, what do I do? I need more content to post, but I don't have any like clients or whatever coming in this week or whatever the case may be. So, in that case, you can get on Facebook or Instagram, type interested in a hair model for this Saturday at 2 p.m. Must be available this time to this time. Like whatever the requirements are, put that in there and then DM me if interested. I'm sure you're going to get a bunch of people that want to get their stuff done. Like, so whenever I need a model, I'll I'll comment and search for a model on Facebook. But I've been doing that for a while now, so I have a good 6 models that I rotate when I need models. The 2 models on the screen actually are models. There's Leah on the left and Lily on the right. They've been modeling for me. They've been face models for me for about 5 years, and I love these girls. Um, and the last tip I have to grow your clientele is to get creative. Like this is money. You're just letting money walk by you. Get creative. So I'm a wedding makeup artist and special event makeup artist. So why would I not go to all the free bridal events and with my business card, it's free to go. You just sign up as a bride. Like they're not gonna check and see if you're actually a bride. Like I've been going to them as a bride for like 5 years. Like so just go with your business card and when you get there they give all the brides a sticker and you put it on you and it says bride, so you'll see all the brides walking around. At least that's what they do in Rochester, New York and Syracuse. I'm not sure any other states if they do the whole sticker thing, but they give the bride a sticker so that when brides go up to vendors, the vendor knows who to talk to. they want to talk to the bride because the bride's going to be the one booking them. So I would walk up to all the brides and say, hey, my name's China. I would introduce myself, tell them I'm a makeup artist. I've been doing makeup for about 15 years. Um, give them my information, like whatever your like elevator pitches, like just do that real quick. Just keep it short, and hand them something tangible. Don't be like, yeah, I want to show you my Instagram. No, get a flyer made, get something made, a business card, like give that to them. When I first started doing this, I had done like one wedding and I was like, I'm hooked. I want to be a wedding makeup artist. And I'm like, how do I get brides? So I went, and what I did was I offered each bride, which it worked for them, but it backfired on me. But I offered each bride, I was like, if you have 5 or more bridesmaids that book, your makeup is free. So I'm doing like 5 or 6 people getting paid for that for their bridal party, but I'm doing the bride for free. What bride is going to be like, nah, I don't want free makeup for my wedding? Like, no bride is going to turn that down. Like, I did make people pay for their trial, of course. Um, but when it came to wedding day, I would do their makeup for free and I'd still be getting paid. And so that helped me build my wedding portfolio. Um, and but the way it backfired is because I had brides that their wedding was like 2 years out. And so I was still doing free bridal makeup 2 years from that day that I offered it. And at that point I have done so many weddings, it's just like I don't need to be offering free bridal makeup anymore. So like 2 years later I was like, oh, I forgot 2 years ago this bride I told her hers was free. So if you're gonna do something like that, make sure you're like, okay, only for 2024 brides. Like if your wedding is 2025, I can't offer you that service. But I would still love to have you come in for a trial, blah blah. Or instead of doing the free bridal makeup, you can offer a free trial, get them in. Once they fall in love with you for doing their hair or their makeup, um, which they will because you're the best at what you do, um, then they'll book you. So that's another tip to build clientele. We can go to the next slide. Okay, some lessons I learned over the years. I've learned many lessons, but here are just a few. I cannot stress enough professionalism, customer service. Like, my first job was McDonald's, which is like mostly everyone's first job, but you learn cash register, you learn customer service, that type of thing. Um, you learn how to work with different types of people. I worked at McDonald's in the Bronx near the highway. People were rude, and I had to always represent McDonald's and be happy and cheery, which I normally am myself. Um, but like that definitely was like a test for me. Like, okay, do you want to work with people in the long run? Like I do. I was able to handle it, even though I went through some stuff working in the Bronx in McDonald's. But um definitely, yeah, no walk in the park. um, but basically I say that to say like you want to always be professional. You want to always provide the best customer service you can, especially when you're running your own business. Like before I was representing, I'm using this example, I was representing McDonald's. Now I'm representing myself. So I need to be even more like on my game. Like there's no slip ups for me. Like if I have a customer come in and uh, they're just rude or whatever, like I'm still going to provide the service and still be myself and not let their mood change me. Um, and my goal is to provide them with the best service, make sure that their makeup looks flawless. So when they're looking in the mirror, they're smiling, they're interacting, they're, you know what I mean? Like, even though that person came in, like, you have no idea what they went through. Like, even though that person came in, like, all over the place and kind of not in a good mood, you want, like, as a service provider in the beauty industry, like, Sorry, that's part of your job. Like you're supposed to make them feel better. Um, and then when they're leaving, you want them to be happier. And they're definitely going to come back to you because they're always going to remember, oh, I had such a great time with China. Like I just was having such a bad day and went and got my makeup done and like my mood just changed. Like that's going to mean so much to them, even though in that moment you're like, oh, this person's attitude sucks. But that they're always going to remember that. So if that person came in and I was like trying to match their attitude, like, like, oh, let me hurry up and get them out my chair, like they're when they leave their experience, their thought process about me, like they're probably not going to want to come back to me. They're not going to have the same feeling they could have had if I was professional with them. And you know so always be top of your game when it comes to customer service. Be patient. Clientele doesn't grow overnight. Your following on social media, that stuff does not grow overnight. In some rare cases it does when you get the chance to go viral, which is slim to none. But we can dream, right? But you want to be patient. Like you just got to put in the work, like anything else. You got to take your time, put in the work, put in the research, and you got it. Just baby steps. Baby steps is what it takes. Um, and give yourself grace. Like, give yourself grace. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be like, oh, I recorded this content to post and it got like 2 likes and I'm never posting again. Like, don't even look at the likes. Don't look at you want to engage. So when people comment, you want to comment back. But like those 1 or 2 people that are commenting, they're your biggest fans on that post right now. Like you better thank them for commenting, give them a follow-up question, answer, something. You know what I mean? Um, but give yourself grace. All things come with time. Um, Another lesson I learned, which I didn't really take this seriously until about like 3 years ago. It was kind of embarrassing. But I was getting all my makeup money and then it would go into my personal account. And I could not tell you how much I made that year because everything was intertwined and like bills was coming out that had nothing to do with makeup. You know what I mean? Like you want to separate. So you have a business account, personal account, business account, separate. They're not related. They're not distant cousins. Just like separate them. Like they don't know each other. Okay. So all your income when you get the deposits on your website, whatever, like that needs to go directly to your business account. And then when you're buying product, hairspray, nail stuff, whatever your field is, whatever you need to buy for your business, that comes out of your business account. You're not using your personal account for any of that. Nothing, none of that. It gets more technical when you talk to like a tax person and they're like, oh, you can take a percentage off your phone in your car and all that stuff. So you want to make sure you have someone, a professional, to talk to about that stuff because then it gets more technical. But yeah, keep that stuff separate. And confidence is key. If you're confident, your client will be confident in you. All right, I have this short story to tell y'all. It was a little embarrassing, but nobody knew. Nobody knew. How would they know? Okay, so I had a wedding. This was about 4 years ago now. This was like before COVID. So yeah. Um, I'm doing wedding makeup, right? I have 6 bridesmaids, and there's another makeup artist there, and I was assisting her. She was doing the bride and then like a few other people. I'm hired to do the 6 bridesmaids, right? I opened my kit. Guess what's missing? All of the foundations. And I'm just like, and this wedding is like not near my house. It was like an hour drive. So I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, this is so embarrassing. Like, so I'm staring at my kit and I'm moving stuff around to make sure I look busy. But I'm in my head like, oh my God, what the heck did I just do? Like, how could I forget this? So you know what I did? I made it work. Everybody got concealer mixed with moisturizer as foundation. And then their makeup came out flawless, and everyone was like, China, I love my makeup. Like, everyone was so happy. And I was just like sitting back in shock. And also, like, no problem, anytime. Like, I'm so glad. Is there anything else you want me to change? Is there anything you want me to fix? Are you good with everything? Like, but in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, like, I just pulled that off. Like, I was just amazed that it worked out. And I was just like, wow, like, I presented myself as confident. Like, I didn't say, oh my God, I didn't freak out. I didn't let them know what was on my mind. I didn't say, oh my God, I forgot the foundation. Like, I was confident. I was cool the whole time, collected, and they'll never know unless they watch this and they know I'm talking about their wedding. So, like, they'll never know. But yeah, confidence is key. So if you're doing someone's liquid eyeliner and you mess up a little bit and you're like, oh shoot, like, don't say that out loud. Like, don't let your facial expressions be like, oh my God. Just like fix it. Like, the client doesn't have to know. The client is just going to see what they see at the end when you show them the beautiful reveal, and that's it. So if you're calm, your client will be calm in the chair. If you're confident, your client will be confident in you. Yeah. So I think we can go to the next slide. Oh yeah. So that's all I have. I'm just wondering if you guys have any questions for me. We have some time, so I am here for questions. But if you guys you guys can come off mute if you want to ask questions, or you could leave them in the chat. Um, and if not, then
So
that will be it.
I have a
Yes.
question for you.
Hi, Kevin.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your story. I'm sorry I ended up a little late, but I'm glad
No
I made it.
problem.
Um, so when you said you needed to get your beta clients, and you took some beta clients, and then it ended up wedding was a year off from the time frames you took them in. How many beta clients did you try to take in?
Oh, so when I offered the free bridal clients, when I
Yes.
offered them free makeup and then said, if okay, I booked like 12 weddings that just from that event that I went to. It was that at that point I only had like one, possibly two. I think it was just one wedding under my belt, and I was like, I love this. I want to do more weddings.
So you took
And
on 12 clients for free?
so here's the thing. So the brides, I would do their makeup, but in order for me to do their makeup, they would have to have a bridal party of five or more people. So all those people are paying for their service. So I'm just doing one person's makeup for free, but I'm getting paid for the bridal party.
Okay, so you did the brides for free, and then the party they would have to pay for theirs.
Yes, yes.
And you took about 12 of those,
Yeah.
which ended up being several for the following year.
Yeah, because a lot of them were that year, but then there were some that like their wedding was like booked a year or two out. So it was like 2 years later, I'm still getting this like, oh yeah. I'm looking at the contracts and stuff because I always review all my notes before I go to the wedding, so I know what I need to know. And I'm like, oh, this bride is another bride that's free. So, yep, gotta just gotta take it. So yeah.
So what do you do during the slow seasons when it's not, you know,
During slow seasons, I do a lot of models. Um, I also have a full time job, so I do makeup as part time. So slow seasons aren't like if it's a slow season, it's just more time I have for myself, for my family. Instead of me trying to be like, I gotta make this money. Like, what am I? You know what I mean? Like,
right?
so I just take that as time to like regroup and spend more time doing other things. Um, but I do a lot of models, so I have a lot of content to post when it's slower.
So do you have a team of people that you post your content with? I mean, I know you have a team that you have your models that you do, but do you have a regular series that you're putting out your content on?
No, so it's kind of like a one woman show over here. So I record everything myself. I edit everything myself. I do unless I have a hairstylist coming in to do the model's hair, then yes. Um, but I edit. I do all the stuff on my own.
Oh, that's good though.
But
That's
yeah,
good.
it would
I
be
looked
nice
at
to
your
have a team.
yeah, that's gonna say. I guess that's really where I was going with. What is your team? What's your team make up? But it sounds like you're kind of a solo shooter right now.
Yeah. And then when I have like weddings and if it's like five or more people, I'll have makeup artists come on to assist me. Um, just so I have that help and we can get everyone done in the time that they need to be done by. And it's usually a makeup artist that I've worked previously with.
Okay, that's good. I was on your Instagram page and your stuff looks good.
Thank you so
Looks
much,
really good.
Kevin. Thank you.
All right, I'll get off and let everybody else ask questions.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
China, thank you so much for the presentation. My question, you may have explained it, but I wanted to know what made you want to become a wedding makeup artist, like, or just general makeup artist?
Yeah, so I love weddings, first of all. It's such a beautiful time. Um, I did my first wedding. I couldn't tell you what year it was, but it was way before COVID. Probably about 6 or 7 years ago now. It was a client that I had I would do her makeup all the time for events and stuff like that. And she's like, China, when I get married one day, like you're gonna do my makeup. And I'm like, oh, I'd love to, whatever. Not thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do her wedding makeup. And the time came and she asked me to do her wedding. And I was like, yeah, of course. So I didn't know much about wedding makeup at the time because I never did one. So I went to YouTube. YouTube University. That's where I learned a lot of things. That's where a lot of people learn a lot of things. And I researched like day in the life of a wedding makeup artist, day in the life of a bride, like whatever people were recording that had to do with the wedding. I wanted to see different aspects of it, like not only what makeup artist saw, but like what a bridesmaid saw that day, or what the makeup or what the hairstylist, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to know like what everyone thought or needed or had questions about on the day of a wedding. So I did that for a bunch or for a while. And then I felt like I was like, okay, I have a good amount of experience from like learning from these videos to go into this wedding feeling a bit more confident than I did before. Um, so I went in, I did her makeup, I did a few bridesmaids, because she also had another makeup artist there because it was quite a big party. And I just really fell in love with like the moment that she got up out of my chair and looked into the mirror and was just like, she loved it. And I loved it. And it was just the whole feeling and the whole fairy tale wedding. Like, I'm so into it. And so I was like, I want to do this all the time. Like, I helped her, um, like after she got in her dress, I helped her with like the body shimmer and all that stuff, and we were taking pictures, and everything was just so beautiful and perfect. Yes, it was stressful because people were like pulling her in every different direction, but I was here for it. Like I loved the whole start to finish of the wedding morning, the morning of the wedding. So I was like, I want to do this all the time. So that was when I realized I wanted to be a wedding makeup artist.
Okay, thank you. And then I just wanted to share with you, like, what resonated with me. Usually we hear a lot about networking, but you literally gave us how to network, going to these events, with your business cards, how to be prepared and having that elevator pitch ready. So just thank you for all that you shared.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bye, take care.
You too.
And my daughter wants to say hi. One second.
Yes. Hi. Where you at, girl? Hello.
I think she can see you, but she can hear you.
Hi. Thanks for watching.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yes, I
Hello.
can hear you. Hello.
Okay, I was trying to ask if there's like a training for beginners, like someone that want to become a makeup artist.
Yes, so I do. If you go to my website, I have a little booking area for that, or you could just DM
Mm-hmm.
me. We could chat about it first. But I do offer like one-on-ones if you want to learn more about how I do makeup as a makeup artist. And usually I'll have the person bring in the model, and we both work on the model together, and I show you all my techniques. Um, and I hide nothing. You learn everything that I know. So I do
Okay.
classes, yes.
Okay, I'm a little late. I didn't get your website. Did you post that before I came? Because I was
I can
having
type it in
problems
the
getting
chat.
on tonight.
Oh, no problem. Let me type it in the chat too. It's framedbeauty.com.
Okay, got it.
And then my Instagram is Chinabelle. So I
Okay.
do makeup. I don't do hair at all. But I've learned that if you're doing like a shoot, like as a makeup artist, if you're doing a shoot, you should know how to do a curl. You should know how to flat iron a little bit. Like I don't style the hair, but if they need like me to comb the hair out of the way during a photo shoot, I definitely could do that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
other than that, I could do my hair. That's about it.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. You have a nice day. Good night.
You too. Thank you. Good night. I see a question from Coach Dave Crenshaw. Hey, Coach Dave. Let me stop. Hey, Uncle Dave. I knew I wanted to be a makeup artist when I went to Barbizon modeling school. Um, and they handed me my first set of makeup brushes and a makeup kit because they wanted all the models to be prepared for shoots if the makeup artist didn't show up. And I took that and ran with it. And I've been doing makeup ever since. And that's when I knew I wanted to be a makeup artist. Sorry if you guys hear my little toddler in the background. Let's see. Any more questions in the have you ever thought about training teen volunteer interns? No, I haven't thought about that, but that's a good one. That's a good one. That's something I would definitely do. That's a good question. Um, that's something I definitely would work towards. Probably not this summer because having a baby, but maybe something that would be cool to do like next summer. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for that. Any other questions for me tonight?
Yeah, can I rattle off a few more questions? I didn't want to
Of
take
course.
it up.
Yes.
Okay, so how much money do you set aside for marketing?
So I do, okay, I haven't gotten that deep into like Facebook ads and all that stuff just because when I've tried it on my own, I felt like I lost money. So I haven't dibbled and dabbled in that. But when it comes to like making my business cards or flyers, um I just take it out of my business account. My flyers, I get like 250 printed at a time, and they're like $55. So,
Yep.
and I edit it myself on Canva. So,
So that's really promoting yourself. But how much? So you don't have a set amount that you set aside. You say, okay, this is how much I'm going to set aside for marketing for all of those things, whether it's cards, Facebook ads, whatever you're going to put out there. You don't have a certain
no,
amount.
but that is something that I should do and be better at. I'm always learning and growing.
Right.
So, thank you. I need to make sure I have a marketing budget moving forward. Thank you for that.
And how much money? So for all the money that it takes. So the type of business structure that you have set up is a LLC.
No, I just have a DBA.
You have a DBA? Are
Yeah.
are you do you plan on moving into the next or structure, or that is where you want to be for now?
That's where I'm comfortable currently. I do look to grow my business in the future and also grow a team so
Mhm.
that I can provide a full service wedding experience. So I'd like to hire on a hairstylist, a few makeup artists, and stuff like that. But for right now, it's just me. I feel like a DBA is perfect for me right now until I'm ready to grow.
And what has been your biggest payday so far?
Biggest payday, uh, it would be definitely I got a deal with Pinterest and they paid me a lot of money a couple years ago to do a in-house presentation. So they actually came to my house and recorded,
Mhm.
and it was for like a virtual presentation fair they were having,
Right.
and I got paid quite a lot for that. And it helped me put that money towards buying the house I live in now. So
Right. That's a good
that
thing.
was that was a
Definitely.
nice payday. I was like, y'all got any more jobs for me there in Pinterest? Any other?
That's funny.
No, just a small. Okay, I'll take the small ones. They add up.
Yeah, they do. And
But I'm
you
a social media influencer on Pinterest, so I post like the content I post on Instagram. I post it on Pinterest too.
right.
Um, so that's how they noticed me and how I was able to get that
So
job.
what are you shooting everything on? What type of camera do you use to capture all these
Yeah,
images?
so I use either my iPhone. This is the newest one, the 15. I had the 12 before this. The only reason I have the 15 is because the 12 just shut off. So the 12 was working fine for me. The camera quality, everything was great. But it just turned off one day and didn't turn back on. So I was like, let me just go ahead and get the new one. Love the new one. It's got good picture quality, video quality, everything. Um, but as far as my camera, I'm recording on a Sony. Is it a ZV-1? Um, I don't have it with me. It's downstairs, but it's marketed as a um content creator vlogging
Yeah.
camera. So definitely was hooked by that title, and I was like, "Yep, that's the camera for me." The lens flips, so I can see not the lens, the monitor,
The
or
monitor, right.
it flips so that I can see myself when I'm recording. I'm like, that's enough for me. I'm not like a super, super, super tech person, but I like to try to be up to date and try to make sure it's easy to use and it works for me. So
All right. Well, that's good. I
yeah.
just know how you put yourself again, yourself look the pictures come out very looking very well. They look really good.
Thank
So
you.
just wondering
Thank you
how you
so
put
much. I
yourself.
appreciate
Especially
it.
since you're a solo shooter, you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah, I have like a little recording space in the basement, and I got the lights going on, and I learned how to set up lighting from YouTube. There's people on YouTube that do that professionally and they make videos. So if you want to learn how to make sure your lighting looks great, then YouTube, TikTok now, like shorter form, and you just learn so much. So never stop researching, never stop asking questions, all
Have
that
you
stuff.
worked with who's the big one? Kill Pretty? Because there's a few
Yes.
different makeup artists from here that's nationally known, that's renowned
Yes.
for their stuff. You've
So
worked with them?
I haven't, well, okay, we've worked a wedding before, um, but I know him personally.
Mhm.
So I hang out with him more than I work with him. So, but he's always busy, so I barely ever hang out with
You
him.
may
But
know because he gets a lot of work from what I
oh
understand. He gets a lot of
yes,
work. So a lot
yep,
of that overflow could
booked and busy. I'll
right
tell
at
you
your
that.
doorstep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. I
Okay,
love him though.
I'm gonna shut up now and let everybody else go get
Oh no, you're good. Thank you so much, Kevin. Any other questions? Before we wrap up, we got like a few minutes. what's the camera called again? Okay, let me type it. It's a Sony ZV-1. So if you go to my Instagram at China Bell, so if you go to my Instagram, I have Amazon storefront in my link, and I link all of my tech stuff there. So if you want to just click on that and see, then you could do that too. Or you could just type in Google Sony ZV-1 and it'll pop up. But if you want to see like what lighting I use, the cameras, all that other stuff, then yeah. Where do your hair where do you get your hair done? Thank you very much. This is a whole wig that I just plopped on before this video. Thank you. But I also have that linked in my storefront. So I have the wig link if you want to see which wig I'm wearing today. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate.
Again, just I guess
Yeah.
one couple more questions. Then I
Yeah.
just clicked on your store. So these are you're actually selling the fashion also, full
Oh
figure
yeah.
fashion.
So I have a plus size fashion line.
Here you go.
It's another
Don't
side.
miss
I'm
that.
I'm definitely a person that loves multiple streams of income. And it's also a one woman show, so it's so hard. It's so hard. But I'm not letting that stop me. I'm continuing to grow and continuing to learn. But I do have a plus size clothing line called Framed Figure. Um, and you can go to framedfigure.com to see it. It's also linked if you go to my Instagram. It's linked there. So you guys can see the clothing.
So who does your clothes?
I buy them wholesale and sell them retail.
You buy them wholesale. You're not working with any designers here because we have a few designers here that make
No,
them.
not yet, but I would love to.
You
I would
should.
definitely love
There's
to.
there's there's a few of them here. Of course, Rochester has a Rochester Fashion Week. I guess they have something
Yes.
coming up here pretty shortly.
Hmm.
And then in the fall they have something coming up pretty shortly within about a month or two. And then in the fall they have the big show. And then they have something in the summertime too. So there's a
Mm.
couple of different things that's happening with those. You definitely want to do that, especially since you're doing the makeup.
Yes.
You get your
Thank
team with
you.
the hair, makeup, and
I
clothes.
know that's such a great idea.
You can come in there and kill them. You should be able
Oh
to
yeah.
knock them out with that. I,
Yes.
I know because I did many 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 years ago. I put on a full figure fashion show.
Okay. I love
Um,
that.
and it went when I had a couple of stores and about four designers that I had
Okay.
make clothes for the scenes, and it went over well. It wasn't my thing. I was just doing it to help some of my artists that I was managing and give them a showcase to showcase their talent.
Right.
It
Right.
turned into something pretty good.
Nice. Oh, I wish you were doing that again. That sounds super
I
exciting.
I I just recently got asked by a couple of designers if I would consider doing that again, and I'm thinking of it, but I'm into a different thing, and it's something I'm considering now.
Yeah.
But you're local here in Rochester, right? Right?
Yep. I'm right in
And
Greece.
we could reach out if I'll more than likely I'll be reaching out to you with some other things that I have coming up that maybe we could link up and do something together.
Absolutely. I'm definitely into it.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. I think that's it for the night. Anybody have any last questions?
Well, I just want to pop in here just quickly and thank you, China, for popping on this Zoom call today. I do appreciate, you extended all that amazing
Absolutely.
wisdom.
Thank you for
Obviously,
having me.
of course, and obviously there's a lot of great synergy, and if we can connect entrepreneurs to successful people, and hopefully be mentored by them, I think that's what it's all about. And so for that, I do appreciate everything you talked about tonight because it's huge. So that being said, I did put in the chat. Obviously, it's already been posted in the chat, but also I wanted to just restate her website as well, framebeauty.com, and also her Instagram as well. definitely connect with China. Obviously, she's a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of wisdom. So
Thank you guys so much for having me. Everyone have a fabulous night.